Hey everybody, we're back for another Regular Talk podcast, changing things up as we go into All Elite Wrestling's Double or Nothing pay-per-view tonight, when this video will come out. For you guys that have seen it, and we got the predictions probably completely wrong, or something crazier happened, or we got them right. Thanks for watching this video. But I have two guests here with me, my good buddy, the one and the only Chris Mullins, and
You guys
Shane.
know me by now.
Shane, am I allowed to say your last name? I don't know. We always go with just
Mine?
Chris Mullins. We just,
Yeah, well, honestly, I went by Mullins. I've gone by a lot of different. You kind of come with a different nickname just about every time. But everyone who has ever been associated with your channel probably knows me by now. I kind of leave a resounding effect on people.
Like, I've never called you Twisted Jenny, but
No, that's the old name, homie. That's
No,
the
that's
longest
Quinn,
since
yeah.
I've been on this channel.
That was back
Been a hot minute.
when I thought Shane was a weirdo. Now I've grown to love Shane like he's family.
Now I'm less of a weirdo.
Shane is
what
officially
a great way to start.
he's very much filling in that role of like an Adam Page with the Elite, where he just kind of like was there. The Elite was already all there with you got the Bucks and you got Omega, and then he just kind of slid right on in there.
Do you think AEW has that friend where they're like, we know him, like, we gotta hire him, you know?
Dude, Flip, obviously. No, wait.
Dude, it's
Flip
obviously
isn't in
Sammy
AEW.
Guevara. It's
Yeah.
obviously Sammy Guevara.
I was thinking it was actually Maxwell Jacob Friedman, but
It might be Maxwell Jacob Friedman
No,
too.
MJF is like Cody's like unbiological son.
I
MJ
think that's Cody's protege. Cody's
No,
not even old enough to like really have a
have
protege,
one, yeah.
But that would probably be his.
MJF is like the Hornswoggle to Finley. Like Cody's Finley, MJF is Hornswoggle, and he's just like.
Which I don't know if you guys have been keeping up, obviously, with everything, right?
Yeah, him
as it
almost
pertains
killing
to,
their
like-
dog, yeah.
Well, yes, okay,
With the
that's what I
chocolate.
was alluding to. No, just gonna throw this out there. I think that's gonna be because obviously you'll notice that I don't believe that. I think this Cody versus Dustin thing's a one-off. I don't think that once things click into the October show,
Yeah.
I think Cody's first feud's gonna be with MJF.
I could see
I'd
it.
like to see him build up to it first. Not like a sudden. It's like, oh, Cody.
Well, everything.
gonna
Well,
turn on
they
you.
have been building up to it with being the Elite. Being the
Mhm.
Elite's like gonna be the I guess you would say the passageway, because obviously they're not running regular shows till
Yeah,
October.
they have a
They're
couple of
running-
oddball
yeah.
ones.
They have a couple of oddball ones here and there, but they're really not running anything.
This is the big one.
regularly. This
I
is
say
the
this
one.
is the
Like,
big one. They have one next month, and then one the month after that, because they got Fight for the Fallen and
yeah, they got
August?
three shows literally leading up to what is going to be in October.
yeah, then it's the show, which is is that like now confirmed to be Dynamite?
That's everything I've seen. It says Tuesday Night Dynamite. I don't know for sure just yet.
Didn't they get a trademark?
I do know that they do have the trademark for it, so it's looking like that's the one.
Okay.
Other than that, couple quick just rundown things. You got the announced team is Alex Marvez, Excalibur, and obviously Jim Ross. That's a big grab for them too, honestly. Alicia Tout and Justin Roberts doing the interviews and ring announcing respectively. As I was just talking to Dom and Shane before this, the big thing is how big this company really, do I think it's going to compete with WWE immediately? No. But does it need to compete with WWE immediately is the question. And that's also a no, I think. What do you guys think?
I'm worried that TNT or someone is gonna further it to be like that, because from everybody else it's been we don't need to worry, like, we're the alternative, we don't need to worry about it. But then you hear more of like TNT and AEW, and here's the Nitro Flame background, and
Well, I think
now you can
that's a lot of TNT. TNT might be honestly like
pushing it a little bit.
the thing that's going to push this to a war, which I hope it's not detrimental, because I love the fact that there's going to be another company of this style, because that's the thing is Impact never felt like it was even when they were at their highest, never felt like it was on the level of WWE.
Like competing, yeah, like
Even at their highest, which was that 2010 area where they just brought in Hogan and Flair and all that, and it was literally basically becoming WCW.
Basically.
But even then, it didn't even feel like it was on that level. It felt like it was still there's guys that are in the main event scene here that would be nowhere near the main event scene in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this case is you got some former WWE guys. You got guys who WWE's been looking at for years. And it's all these names are top names.
Yeah.
This is not an indie company. I don't believe it's an indie company.
It's like they have written contracts.
They're a
Once you
poster
start getting
company now.
Yeah, once you start getting into that written contracts where guys are exclusive to the AEW brand, then that's when the whole indie thing goes out the door.
Yeah.
But seriously though, you know, even though we're in an age of being more digital, whether it's seeing stuff on YouTube, or you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, any of the social medias, it's like, how well do you need a TV deal unless you're trying to reach, you know, I think this will be the case that really helps them, you know, as you've heard with ITV and TNT, is that you'll get the follow through with the sports fans or the people who, in the case of ITV, is, you know, I think the biggest or second biggest, one of those providers in the UK.
A big thing about this whole contract thing is, and this is not me slighting AEW in any way, it is because it's obviously an initial contract with a big name broadcaster. They are not being paid to take this time slot. Like, they're not they weren't, like, TNT didn't come to them and say, hey, here's a bunch of money, take this time slot. They were offered this. They were offered this just straight up.
And it's a big investment. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
definitely
a
not
big
like
thing.
WCW where they were like, hey.
That was the thing, is WCW was given that spot, and they were like, okay, you know what? Because Ted Turner wanted wrestling at that point, because back in that mid '90s, wrestling was really, really big, and I think we're honestly seeing a resurgence of wrestling.
Do you think with I know it's still getting a little bit off topic before we actually get into the card itself. Do you think with the XFL coming out next year, I believe, for the first league, do you think that's really going to play a toll into the whole wrestling side of things, of even taking more of a step back? Or do you think it'll even be like, hey, we need to fuel it up more on wrestling because, you know, now there is this AEW entity that there's sports on TNT, as far as I know, and Vince McMahon's going to have sports with XFL, and they're doing Fox Sports and all that. I think this October, right? So they're getting more of that sports.
That was another thing is Fox wants to present SmackDown more like a sports program rather than a wrestling program.
Yeah.
They want to present it more like a sports style program. They are very much about, like, they're gonna do much like what I was telling you about with the NBA game last night, where they were talking about that. They're gonna have the announcers on Sunday football talking about WWE when SmackDown moves to Fox.
That's gonna be really interesting. So, like, how they're gonna play into that, like how they're gonna.
They'll have statistics also.
That. Yeah. Oh, dude. That'd be
I really wonder if, like, they're gonna really, like, work into that whole sports thing. But that's a little off topic about this.
Curt Hawkins has not won a match in 386 days.
Exactly.
Statistically, he has no chance of winning.
Statistically, he would get the number one pick if there was a draft.
Yeah, he is now the general manager.
Okay, so
Curt Hawkins is the new chairman.
let's get into the buy-in pre-show though. First match we got Kip Sabian taking on Sammy Guevara.
You guys don't know anything about Kip Sabian.
I know.
He's pretty cool.
I know very bits about Kip Sabian.
He's got a good look to him.
But Sammy, it's Sammy Guevara, right? That's facing him.
Yeah, Sammy Guevara is
Yeah,
taking him on.
he's gonna beat him. I like Kip
He's gonna
Sabian,
beat
but
him.
Sammy Guevara is gonna beat him. Sadly.
Yeah.
Sammy Guevara is unfortunately, like, it's pretty much set because he's obviously, again, going off of everything I've seen on being the Elite. He's being a pushed product for this company.
Yeah.
They really like what they see out of Sammy Guevara, and this looks to be, it's going to be a very flippy fest. There's two very flippy guys from everything I've seen on either guy. It's going to light the crowd up. And
speaking of that, I don't think it should be on the pre-show. I think it should be the opening match for the actual pay-per-view.
What I was going to say, in general, though, they had all the thing about it is these guys aren't international names, and I think their deal with all these international companies forced them to put all those other matches on the main card.
Yeah, like I can completely understand the Battle Royal being on a pre-show because that sets up for the actual pay-per-view.
Yes, and actually, now that we've just talked about that, let's get into that Battle Royal real quick. We got the Casino Battle Royale. The winner of this will take on the winner of a match later in the night, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, at a later date, or possibly even tonight, even tomorrow night.
That's
they
true.
haven't really said yet.
Yeah.
They just really said at a later time.
Which could be like
Imagine
10
if
minutes
it's like a
later.
Yeah, like
I don't think
Kenny or
it'd be
Jericho
cash
win the
in.
match, and then they just come out immediately. It's like, hey, let's have this match now.
Okay, so the Casino Battle Royale participants, we got Sonny Kiss, we got Brandon Cutler, Ace Romero, we got Glacier, WCW reference there.
Yeah.
There we go. We got Brian Pillman Jr., we got Sunny Days, we got MJF, we got Joey Janela, Dustin Thomas, Billy Gunn, Jimmy Havoc, Michael Nakazawa.
Michael Nakazawa.
Yes, Michael Nakazawa. Jungle Boy,
Love that
Isaiah
guy.
Cassidy, Mark Quinn, Luchasaurus, Sean Spears, obviously the former Ty Dillinger.
Sean Dillinger.
What do you think is like? Because they can't use the 10 gimmick in
Oh,
AEW.
well,
So
they,
how do you think they're gonna?
they can use the 10. All it is a number.
I mean, I admit, like, because didn't they get a cease and desist for using the 2 Sweet?
Yeah, the 2 Sweet's a hand gesture, though. 10's a number, Shane.
So it was a
You
middle
can't-
finger.
No, but it's like the gesture
Stone
though,
Cold
where
reference.
He holds up like all like he just holds up like.
They
all
got a cease and
fingers
desist
up.
for doing a gesture, Shane. It's 10 is a number that you can't. 10's been around longer than WWE. The number 10.
I'm just saying, this is Vince talking about. You never know.
Okay, well, he can try all he wants. I'm the biggest Vince fan on the planet, Shane, but I'm going to tell you right now, he would fail.
I am the number 10.
And anyway, when they announced that he was getting his spot, going back to this whole thing,
He's got to be number 10,
He drew the number 10 card out of the thing.
Yeah, he's got to be number 10.
And also going off this, there's 4 unknown spots right now.
Is it bad that just all the people announced? I'm like, I don't think they're going to win it. It has to be someone not announced.
Unfortunately, I think you're right.
But
Because...
is that bad, though?
Oh, no, that's not bad at all.
I don't know. Like, it feels so much of, like, they want to be the alternative. But it could be arguable. Because I can't say that right. In the same instance of WWE with Brock Lesnar, winning Money in the Bank, you could kind of say the same way in this of, having someone win the Casino Battle Royale or whatever it's called.
Well, again,
So-
let's actually go into this. Actually, I was thinking about this real quick, and this actually sets things up kind of perfectly. Since we will not be talking about this match later because it was canceled, I think you guys know where I'm going here.
Sadly.
Pac and
I think-
Hangman, right?
I think Hangman could get a spot of one of those 4 spots and win this battle royal.
Man, really having your friends win everything
Well,
at that point.
I'm going to be honest with you. It's looking very much likely. Obviously, we could get into why that match isn't happening, which is, again, another thing there.
Yeah.
It's a whole. Well, it also has to do with the fact that the deal that Pac has with AEW. I don't know
Yeah.
if he's no longer with AEW altogether. Nothing has been said on that,
Yeah.
but I'm assuming so, just because of the fact that at this point he pulled out of the match because, let's be honest, it said creative differences. Fill in the blanks there. He didn't want to lose.
But I thought our wrestlers had more creative freedom.
He didn't want to lose. Let's be honest there. He didn't want to lose. He was told, "Hey man, Adam's legitimately exclusive to AEW. You're gonna have to take the fall here."
Which makes sense.
He got mad and said, "Well, why wasn't I on the WrestleMania main card?" Oh, sorry, that was another time that he got mad.
I don't know. Well, they're also playing off the fact that Hangman's got a broken leg, right?
Well, yeah, they're also playing off that. I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that
I think that's
he might. I hope it is, because I'm a big Adam Page fan. In general, I think that he has a look about him that literally says star when you look at him.
Yeah.
And I think that he's someone who, back when I said this back when they had their first press conference where he came out and he was talking about wanting to be the champion, I said he could be the guy that leads this company.
Oh, definitely.
That's a guy I could get behind leading this company, Hangman Page.
Yeah.
Other names potentially for this Casino Battle Royale. Do we see a Jon Moxley?
I was about to say, like, if the surprise entrant does win, are we incinerating the Son Mox?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And
Jon
it's Mox
Moxley's
now, by the
one
way. Yeah, it's
Oh,
Mox
it's
now.
just Mox?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Neither do I.
No, it says Jon Moxley on his Twitter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mox was just like, like the
Mox
tights
is
thing.
just like, yeah, it's like when you're it's just like a quick thing.
Or the back of
Like
the.
LeBron is LBJ. LeBron James is LBJ whenever you're talking about him in short form.
Like the back of the jacket is gonna say Mox on it. Have a little barbed wire or something, you know?
Yeah, because it's easier to put on. It's easier to just throw 3 letters on a jacket.
I will say this, Chris. It is.
Put some barbed wire around it, or put like a square around it. Because 3 letters with a square around it, the cool things happen.
Yeah, I don't know, Chris. Like it's really hard to pinpoint who's gonna win this in terms of the mystery factor. Like.
Well, let's go down to a couple of these names that.
Is there like a list of mysteries? Do you have a list?
Let me look up a list of mysteries.
Do you have a piece of paper? Did I just hear a piece of paper flip?
Oh no,
Right?
I have my laptop.
I was like, you got a script out here. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
If we're talking about the announced entries that could win, with that last episode, I don't know. I think it was the episode before last, but Brandon Cutler, what they did with him, like, hey, we're offering you a contract, and then like it got all emotional, like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's another one that really it was a big thing. Anyone who doesn't know who Brandon Cutler is, he was a wrestler, got out of the business for 8 years because he was just focusing on his family and whatnot. His wife was also hired to do the costumes.
Yeah.
For for all of AEW, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And that is another one. I could see that one too.
Like I'm calling it.
I'm not seeing anything about any type of any speculations. Let's think. They teased David Arquette.
Oh yeah, they did. That was great.
John Hennigan too, though, was there.
Yeah, John Hennigan was there. I don't know what his deal with Impact's looking like.
Yeah.
So he might honestly be strictly Impact at this point, because I know that everyone and their mother left Lucha.
Yeah.
I was say, and even if they do sign John Hennigan, like, imagine their ring name, Johnny Elite.
Is this who we want? Is this who we like would want to win, or who we think will probably win?
Who we think will win? Because I truly think out of the names that listed, like Hangman would be who I would want to win.
Yeah.
Being one of those 4 guys, who I think's gonna honestly win this match. MJF would be one. Who else could potentially be one here?
Well, for me, when I see just how much stuff has been teased, and Cody talking about how this is going to be the greatest pay-per-view ever, and there will be so many surprises, and you'll never know like what could happen. Like deep down inside, I still want Punk. Like I want that to be, because I think of
Punk
everything,
would be a good one.
of truly everything that is possible in the realm of in the last like 10 years of relevancy. Like, you know, you can't go 20 years back and say, oh shoot, brother, Hulk Hogan's entered the Casino Royale. Like, you gotta think of the last 10 years of people, like who's really missed, you know, and who's like still gets a buzz, and it's gotta be Punk. I mean, your big guy right now is Jericho. But who else could be just oh my gosh, they actually have him? And it's like, you get Punk, and, you know, I don't want to sound like that guy, but you get Punk, and then how many months is it? Freaking, like, what, 5 months out or whatever? You give him 5 months to get back in that wrestler status, you know, you do some videos or whatever, and it's golden. You know, you got something
What
rolling.
about, I got another name for you guys.
Sure.
What about I don't know what he's going by now. I guess I'll just go by what I think he's going by. What about Stu Bennett?
That's true.
I wouldn't
too.
mind that.
The thing that you got to remember, though, by the end of this, it's gonna be that person versus.
It has to be a name that's going to be able to draw with the name of either Kenny or Chris Jericho.
You gotta look at it this way: whoever wins this, like, for instance, if it's in my case CM Punk, then Jericho's got to win it. You know, if it's the case,
let's be honest, we can take a couple of these names out of this list. I'm sorry for everyone who was hoping. We're not going to see Isaiah Cassidy versus Kenny Omega for the AEW Championship.
When I can see Sonny Kiss.
Sorry, Mark Quinn, you're not winning either, unfortunately.
What if he could? What about Ace Romero? What about
Ace Romero? Sorry. Sorry about your luck. You will not be getting a.
But
AEW
in the case like Brandon
shot.
Cutler, like you could see him in Jericho. Good guy versus bad guy sells because Jericho is such a bad guy, you know.
If Kenny wins that match, it's gonna be like an MJF.
Yeah.
So basically, what we're saying is whoever wins the Battle Royal will kind of tell us who's going to win between Jericho and Kenny.
Yes, honestly, yes, very, very.
With that in mind, and I talked about this before with somebody, I'm seeing Jericho winning to get his win back from Wrestle Kingdom, and if that's most likely the case and Jericho wins, that means the face is winning the Battle Royal.
That is true, actually, though. That's a very big point there. Shane is obviously Kenny has his win over Jericho already.
Yeah, Jericho mentioned it, and the promo package, like, I am 0-1 again.
I just hope that they're smarter than ROH, because as we saw with All In, Flip Gordon won the Battle Royale, the pre-show over the budget Battle Royale.
Yeah.
And ROH, I don't know who to blame for this, if it's ROH or if they, like, whoever got to pick the winners, whatever. I still believe ROH at the end of the day has to say on this because it is their world title.
Yeah.
It is the dumbest thing in the world that they did not pull the trigger on Flip Gordon. I like Jay Lethal, but you got to pull that trigger.
I can understand if they would have had somebody else win that Battle Royal, and then be like, "Hey, we don't really want him on having the title because it's our title."
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
he's not on the roster.
Flip Gordon under contract.
Yeah. Like what? What
that would have been the
in
perfect.
The world?
That would have been the perfect thing, on top of everything. Like that would have made like. Because honestly, let's be honest, All In was good, but there was stuff still missing from it. There was stuff still missing from it that could have pushed it to that level of being a great pay-per-view.
I feel like we could really talk about this Battle Royale for ages, honestly, just thinking
We
of what could
really
happen.
could. So let's just everyone.
How long has it been How long has it been since we were able to like legitimately had to guess who's gonna win a battle royal? Because like in WWE they make it pretty obvious.
Yeah, in the case of the Rumble,
you kind of know at least the top 5 choices at least.
Yeah,
we've
got no guesses in this one.
It could be literally anyone. Anyone could win this thing.
Except for
Luchasaurus. Except for Isaiah Cassidy and Luchasaurus and Ace Romero and Mark Quinn. Who else we got here? Dustin Thomas. Sorry, you're not winning. Sunny Days. Sorry, you're not winning. Sunny Kiss. Sorry, you're not winning. But other than that, just okay. Shane, give us a name.
I mean, if Jungle Boy somehow wins, I'm gonna mark out because I actually know the guy, and like that'd be pretty cool.
It would be great. After everything with his dad, that would be a great story too. And the fact that he's literally, I think, only like 20, 21 years old.
Dude's my age, yeah.
Yeah, I want them to build a star, but this is the guy who's going on.
Well, that's the thing is now, this is a company. This isn't no longer an indie show.
This is the main event of what could be your first show or your first pay-per-view,
like actual
post-show.
Yeah, this could be your this could be your first. This could be on the first episode of Tuesday Night Dynamite.
Yeah, I love that.
Like it's gonna be big, so it draws in ratings. Which, by the way, side note, off topic real quick, TNT has mentioned that they'd be happy if the pilot episode of AEW drawed in only maybe 400,000. Like TNT, unlike Fox, who want SmackDown to have 3 million, TNT's like if AEW gets at least 400,000, we'd be happy with that.
So, that's a realistic thing for a company like AEW that's just starting up. That's realistic.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the next match. Moving on to the main card, we got the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, taking on Angelico and Jack Evans. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'm a big fan of Angelico and Jack Evans. More of an Angelico. I'm more of an Angelico fan than Jack, but I like the team. I'm hoping they win over the Best Friends.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Out of the 4 guys in this match, I'm only a big fan of one of them, and that's Chuck Taylor.
Chuck Taylor's amazing.
So I'm gonna have to stick with the Best Friends one in this one. I think it's gonna be a great tag match. Obviously, 2 tag teams. I hope that stay an integral part of the tag team division in AEW.
My expectations for this match really is like obviously Best Friends. While they're really good, like in ring technically, like they are also a good comedy team or like a comic relief. So I'm really hoping,
great comic relief.
Yeah, I'm really hoping for this match like a good mix of high flying and comedy.
I gotta go with kind of like in the aspect of Chris there, but opposite. The one person I'm actually a big fan of is Angelico. I really loved his stuff with Lucha Underground and even working in Mexico and stuff like that. So I think in that aspect, I gotta go with Angelico and Jack Evans, especially because I think they'll do some good work with the Young Bucks. Of course, they've already done good work with... I don't know if I've ever seen the face of the Young Bucks, but they've done good work with the Lucha Bros, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to say I got to go with them.
And
so
that's another point why I say they might be the Best Friends, is because obviously if you want to build up to this more competitive title scene, especially with the tag team division and the future tag team titles, like obviously, with the product that they're advertising us with, like, you definitely see more Jack Evans and Angelico going after those titles than the Best Friends. Which, I mean, I can see any of them go for the title once it gets announced, but I'm seeing more of them building up to Angelico and Jack Evans challenging for it before the Best Friends do.
So you're saying Angelico and Jack Evans?
Yeah, I'm saying they're probably gonna win.
And you are too, Dom?
Yep.
Okay, and I'm gonna go with the Best Friends here. The next match, forgive me if I mispronounce any of these names.
It's the 6 woman tag team match.
I am obviously not fluent in Japanese. And
I can already tell it's the 6 woman tag team match. I can already tell.
We got Aja Kong. I know I got that one. We got
Mullins, don't even try.
Sakazaki. We got Emi Sakura. And they are taking on the team of Hikaru Shida, Ryo Abe, and Ryo Mizunami.
Is it bad I actually don't care about this match? But I like Aja Kong.
Be honest with you. I like Aja Kong.
Aja Kong is the only real name.
I don't know anything about anybody else in this match.
Aja Kong is the biggest name in that match. Definitely.
Okay, Aja Kong, you win. Congratulations. On to the next match.
Next match.
We got SoCal Uncensored, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky taking on the Strong Hearts, Seema, T-Hawk, and El Lindemann. So what do you guys see here?
I'm seeing benefits from whoever wins, depending on the route that they go. Obviously, you maybe want to have your actual AEW guys go over.
Yeah.
Because they're AEW, but at the same time, you also want to promote this partnership.
I think that this is where you take the partnership. You give the partnership a rub here.
Yeah.
And I think that the strong. I like SoCal Uncensored, big fan, but I think this is where you say, hey, Seema is a legend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got T-Hawk and El Lindemann, who that's another tag team potentially for this AEW tag team division we've talked so much about so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this is a way to, okay, we got an American audience. Let's introduce them to these guys. Let's get these guys a big win here.
Yeah, definitely going with the ECW WC route with that, like how they introduced the cruiserweights with Mysterio, Juventud, etc. Like that.
Yeah,
I take the 6 minutes to go way to really introduce those type of guys.
It is. It's you can get a bunch of guys out there. You get a bunch of guys. Everyone gets a little bit of time, and then you obviously, because anyone who isn't a big fan of international wrestling does not know who T-Hawk or El Lindemann is.
Yeah.
Or even Seema.
Yeah.
But this is where you get the introduction to them, and I think this is where you can get that W for them. And it sets up a lot of other things down the road for them too, potentially.
Yeah. That's the thing. You got to go with the partnership in this route. Like.
Yeah. This is where you have to, right at this point. You're a new company. It's best to just go with the partnership.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We got a little bit of a three-way action here. I would love to be a part of this three-way. Sorry. Had to slip in that joke.
There goes your monetization, Dom.
We got Dr. Britt Baker taking on Nyla Rose, taking on the future mother of my children, Kylie Ray.
Nyla Rose. It's like what she said, you know? She breaks bitches.
She breaks bitches.
Yeah. So, I mean...
as much as I love Kylie Ray, Nyla Rose is not losing this match.
That catchphrase
alone is gonna be slapped on T-shirts. I'll put in an order if the T-shirt goes up there.
That's gonna be like the new Austin 316.
I break bitches.
Nyla 316 says I just broke that bitch.
Yeah. Nyla 736. I break bitches. So we all square on that Nyla Rose is not walking out with a loss here.
Nope. Nope.
Okay. So we'll agree with that one. And then now we got our only title match as of now on the card. We got for the AAA World Tag Team Championships. We got the Young Bucks taking on the Lucha Bros.
That's a toss-up.
I say Young Bucks retain now. Just so later down the road, in Mexico, Lucha Bros can get them back and win them even bigger in Mexico.
Yeah, I think that they'll. When is Triple Mania?
I feel like it's a while off, honestly.
Wait, I think it just happen? Hold on.
Mania.
I was gonna say I'm not big on. I haven't watched AAA in a while.
August 3rd.
August, yeah.
So yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, there we go. I think that the Young Bucks win tomorrow night or tonight.
I think it's actually planned. No, it's not. But
I think that the Young Bucks will win it here, and then because it'll be 10 times bigger for the Lucha Bros to win it back at Triple Mania.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be gigantic for them to win it, and it'd be like a home crowd thing. Everyone gets happy out of this another partnership here.
Yeah.
We got another partner here with AAA and AEW. So I think we're all pretty much agreeing on a lot of these. A lot of these are very much the way it would go a lot better if it goes the way that we've all been saying so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this as a company standpoint more than I was last year, looking at it as just one big giant indie event.
Yeah, I was like, hey, like this indie guys.
Because like indie events, you can afford to take a loss at a random one-off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyone can. This is where you start building your company, though. This is a building block show.
Yeah, see, this is a company now, so.
Next we got Cody versus Dustin Rhodes.
Cody.
I don't see Dustin even like I wouldn't even see Dustin saying, "Hey, is there a chance I should win this match?"
I honestly can't really humor the thought too much of that Dustin win. Like
a Dustin win does nothing for anybody.
I can't really play out that scenario, you know? That's the bad part about
At this point, do we see Dustin becoming a regular part of on-screen AEW?
Not on screen, honestly.
I think he's obviously going to be a road agent.
Yeah, I can see it too.
It's very blatantly obvious that this is not going to be his last time working with AEW. This may be his last match with AEW, or at least last match for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
But I think it does nothing for anything, and honestly, it makes Cody look worse if he loses.
Oh, definitely.
And then, I guess there's nothing else to talk about but the main event. We got, or at least what looks to be the main event, in Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega. And we've already all discussed this.
Yep.
I think Jericho is going to get his win back here.
Yeah, it's weird to say. I think you have to almost have like a bad guy ending so you can have that, you know, that big payoff of who won earlier in the show confront him, you know, building
like
long term.
To close the show, like maybe a stare down to close the show.
I would.
That'd be the perfect way. Have whoever wins that battle royal close the show by coming out to the stage, and maybe Jericho is attacking Omega after the match, and then there's that stare down.
Yeah.
Where you did at that point you build up a giant star whoever would stop an attack after the match from Jericho would already look like a giant star for stopping it. And then that person also is going to be the person taking on Jericho at a later date for that AEW championship.
I would love to see the person who wins the pre-show battle royale win it in a mask. Just so at the end of the show you have that big unmasking of like, oh shoot, it's that guy. That would be
great. Have a random like character win this thing, and then it comes back to bite him.
Dude, bring back Curry Man or whoever that guy was that Flip Gordon was. You know, just have that character keep on returning. Yeah. But he doesn't unmask this time, you know, until the very end. Yeah. Or it's like CM Punk before showing up at indie shows in that mask.
Anything else you guys expect to see on this show?
Other than the surprises that we talked about.
I want to see Road Warrior Animal or Hawk or somebody.
Well, Hawk's dead.
I want to see Animal with his Harley, come out there.
To see Animal come out with the Harley.
Yeah, whatever it was. That was the chopper. That was interesting. Pyro, tons of pyro. Yeah.
Wonder if we're gonna see any celebrity involvement in this show.
Yeah,
Stephen Amell.
Yeah, last time we had Steve. That's the weird thing. Last time we had Stephen Amell
was obviously a part of the last card.
So I'm kind of like, why is there? Who did he face again? Was it Christopher Daniels? Yeah.
It was. That's why I'm thinking that David Arquette could be a part of that. He could get one of those 4 spots. They told him no.
And then they can put the title on David Arquette, just like WCW 2000.
Exactly.
Thank you. What was it? 20 years later?
Dude, it's a long.
They even mentioned that in the Being the Elite video.
Yeah, he was like, I wasn't ready to rumble.
Yeah, they didn't recognize him. He mentioned all his movies he was in. He's like ready to rumble, and they're like, "Wait, you were part of that WCW angle."
That was me.
But yeah, other than that, anything else you guys want to say about the event tomorrow?
I don't know if being very bold and saying that it'll be the best wrestling pay-per-view of all time is really bold and very a lot of
foolish.
You have to honestly you gotta have that something that everyone just wanted to see in a long time, whether it be that wrestler to come back that people really cherished and loved. You gotta have the legends that people grew up seeing and respecting show up. Like if for some reason I see Ric Flair out there or Hogan or anyone crazy show up there, or if I see or like in the case of the Moxley or the Punk or the Stu Bennett, or like I don't even know who is big name left on the indies that people would want to see. That's the big problem there.
Again, it's like Cody said, apparently it's going to be full of surprises and swabs and all that good stuff, so you never know.
But if there's one thing I can say before we end this off, with John Hennigan probably going to AEW, I cannot wait for him to be called Johnny Dynamite.
Johnny Elite.
No, Johnny Dynamite.
Johnny Dynamite.
Please, someone tweet on that or something.
Yeah, it is either Johnny Elite or Johnny Dynamite.
Johnny Dynamite.
Because at this point, to me, that's his gimmick. He just goes to the last name of whatever company he's in. Johnny Impact, Johnny Mundo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, you got anything left for us?
Other than that, I think we're all good. I really look forward, obviously, to the pay-per-view. It's going to be a good one. We're probably all going to be watching together anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just really, really excited, honestly. Like, it's like, I was talking with Rick Knox earlier, and I told him this is just, it's a breath of fresh air being breathed into the world of professional wrestling.
Sure.
It's completely, everything's completely, like, everything we ever knew about pro wrestling is now out the door, because now we're getting competition again for the first time in like 20 years.
Like tell me 10 years ago that Cody's gonna start his own company with the Young Bucks and they're gonna borderline compete with WWE.
How many years ago?
10.
Yeah, they didn't exist 10 years ago.
The Young Bucks?
Yeah, the Bucks weren't around 10 years ago. Or
Cody barely existed 10 years ago.
Mainstream level.
5 years. Tell me 5 years ago that, and like I would have been like, oh, okay, buddy.
I'd be like, Generation Me, no way. But
right?
The Young Bucks back then were still wrestling in bingo halls.
Yeah. All right. It's like
now they're in Casino Royale.
It's like some time traveler goes to
now
the
they're
past.
in casinos.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it here for us, ladies and gentlemen. Next time you see us, we'll be doing a fun little video where we're going to be doing a tier list of all the wrestling companies. So until then, keep it safe, everyone.